This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, Mad Max Arraj. We got Dr. Perruzza in the green room. We got Butch Mullis coming by. Come one, come all to the greatest party in the Lowco. It's the LowcoSports Lowdown on Thursday night. We're all coming in hot from our various locations with stuff to talk about. So looking forward to it, fellas. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, including circling it back to last night. And don't let me forget to talk about the Beaufort County Track and Field Championships. And I also have video of the fastest man in Beaufort County, the winner of the 100 and the 200. You guys want to take a guess?
Hampton County. Oh, no, not Hampton County.
Well, Hampton County was there, though. Hampton County was there. So bear that in mind. He's a freshman.
Oh.
And he can go up and get it on the football field.
Oh.
He hails from he actually hails in Richland, but he plays on the Isle of Ladies. Are we narrowing it down? It's Amari Patterson.
Amari Patterson
is the fastest man.
How about that? And he's
just a freshman.
Insane.
Got some big time offers already, but that's good stuff. But I coached some softball tonight. That was fun. That's always fun. 10-year-old girls are just the best to coach. Gosh, they're so coachable and they have so much fun. But there was some painful. That
was hard to watch. The end of that Beaufort High softball game, it was hard to watch. Man, I just feel for Kylie Rask because she pitched just a gem of a ball game.
Yeah.
Defense did not hold up. I mean, a couple of untimely errors, as untimely as they get. And just like that, they let the region slip away. Just unfortunate to see.
Yeah, let me see what see if we got the highlights up yet. Not yet, but
it was a terrific start.
A little later
They jumped on the starter, went up 3-0. They looked to be in a really good spot. When you get 3 runs for Kylie Rask, you're in a really good situation. I don't care who you go up against because she can shut teams down, but just a couple of mental lapses defensively and some timely hits by Hanahan, and give credit to the Hawks for the mistakes that were gifted their way. They took advantage and were able to knock in some important hits throughout that, especially late in that ball game, to tie it up and eventually go ahead. And it was almost a very interesting situation there in the 6th inning, where even if Beaufort lost by 1, they would still win the region because they obviously would be tied head-to-heads. The next tiebreaker would be not goals allowed and softball runs allowed. Yeah. And then that was tied too, so it would be total runs allowed in the region, and Beaufort was ahead. So all they do is get one more out, and it would set up an interesting scenario because, Hanahan they would need to score another run, but they wouldn't have had a chance to bat again, and they let it slip away on that last out on that pop-up that was not caught, and because of that, he was able to get 2 more runs and clinch the region. So, I mean, geez, it hurts to see something like that happen. Yeah, that's killer. But Kylie Rask,
but you're still in the playoffs, and and sometimes we have seen scenarios where being the 2 seed works out better than being the 1 seed. It does occasionally work out that way, and I don't know enough yet about what the brackets look like to know whether that's 6 errors according to the Beaufort Game Changer. So
that's what I saw.
Yeah, so that hurts. You got a pitcher who can dominate, but you've got to have the defense behind her, and that was definitely the concern at times this year. And it sounds like it just kind of snowballed tonight at the wrong time. But they'll be back in it for the playoffs. Max, you got a disappointing one too, and we'll talk about it in more detail with Mullis when he gets home. But Sharks, they could not keep the momentum going from last night.
Yeah, I mean, they fought. They fought. It's just, I think, they pretty much gave everything they had in that game last night to James Island, coming into today, also a very important game, probably a more important game than the James Island game. But, with that win against James Island, you come into this game, you win, you get the 2 seed in the region. So, it was disappointing to watch, But again, they had a lot of highs, but they also have some things I think that they're going to need to work on before playoffs come around. It was tough to watch because Lucy Beckham got up early in the game, and they just kind of never looked back. May River scored runs to keep it close, but they could not get over the hump. They had multiple times with bases loaded and just could not find ways to capitalize and get enough runs out of those opportunities. In the end, Lucy Beckham just played the better game.
Yep. I didn't get to catch any of it. I was coaching, but we do have some highlights that you shot, Max, as well as your post game interview. So we'll check out the post game interview with
nice.
Coach Schmidt.
Loco Sports fans, Max Arraj here. I'm here with Coach Schmidt of May River High School. Coach, tough loss for you guys tonight against Lucy Beckham. Obviously there is a bit of stakes there. Winner gets the 2 seed in the region. But, you guys are still making the playoffs, so what's the focus as y'all head towards the playoffs?
Well, we're going to try to learn from the experience of, this is a playoff atmosphere, you know what I mean? It's win and you achieve something, and tonight it was just a seeding thing, and obviously next week, you start playing for your playoff life and to keep going. And so just learn from the experience and, a tight game. We've had 2 of them 2 nights in a row, and, we had a pretty tough task and, we didn't quite get it done tonight, but there was a lot of good things, and our kids fought both nights, and that's the key thing going into the postseason for sure.
Amen.
Yeah, Coach, y'all had a huge win last night against James Island. A big game last night, big game tonight. I'm sure your boys are pretty tired at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. They'll get tomorrow off. We take Fridays off quite a bit, but then we come in Saturday morning and go back to work and prep for next week. And that's the thing. It's there was no rest, and it was an emotional game last night, obviously for a lot of reasons. Playing one of the best teams in the state, and tonight you have to run it back against a team that beat us earlier this year. And we gave ourselves a chance, and we had a couple base running mistakes and things like that, and they made a couple plays and they hit the ball and put it in play, and it just wasn't our night tonight.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in the playoffs. Look forward to seeing your team have some success there in the playoffs. And thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And that is Max Arraj with Loco Sports. Tune in tonight to the Loco Sports Lowdown.
Very good, very good.
Once again, we're already watching.
Yeah.
Great work is always.
Yeah, I know.
Work is always.
Tune in every night. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we will, if we're going to go into the constructive criticism portion of the program, then we have to bring in the doctor, Dr. Perruzza, who is now, I think, finished with his phone call. I saw him on the phone in the green room. Didn't want to pop him in the middle of an important phone call. But, Doc, how'd your student do tonight?
My student's doing really good. He's actually done a really good job. We took him from a place where he was like first learning how to do this and expressing an interest. And he's been doing an excellent job. More than anything, one of the things that he has that a bunch of students who want to go into journalism don't have is the want and the will to do it. I think he told me he was like 3 or 4 days in a row doing this stuff. And he's doing what he has to do right now. He's gained the experience. The interview, it was great, fantastic. His videos are getting better and better every single time he does it. And I saw him tonight. There's little things like maybe
your phone sideways
in the interview, and do that next time. Flip it over to the side, but he's doing really good. And
we'll get you a real camera soon.
Fine tune, he'll do it, and he's on his way, definitely.
Yeah, man. Checking out Max's highlights from the May River game tonight. What was the final? 6-3?
5-3, I believe.
Oh, 6-3 was the Hanahan.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. It was it?
It was 5-3. It was 6-3 was the Beaufort softball game. There's the fresh produce bullpen.
Oh, see, that's good. That's the good cutaway shots he's learning.
Yeah, I like it. But and also, Doc, you got out and saw. Well, you didn't get to see Grizz. You got out to the SEC championship though down at Sea Island today. Since we're all in the golf mood after the Heritage, and some big names down there, and Grizz is among them. But what did he shoot? Like 2 over today?
Yeah, I believe he was 2 over last time I looked. I'm not really sure what he finished, but something around that. But phenomenal event. I don't know if any of you guys out there follow collegiate golf. but especially in the SEC, you have such a loaded conference. And when you look at the guys who have played in that event, I think they've done SEC championship at Sea Island now for over 15 years. It's been a while. You look at some of the names who've won out there, and it's like Keith Mitchell and Justin Thomas and Trey Mullinax and like guys who are mainstays on the PGA Tour. It's quite unbelievable. And when you look at it today, the field was very good. Some very high competitive teams. Two main ones, I'd say, Vanderbilt, Auburn, two very big teams in there. Vanderbilt coming into it, I think they have. What's going on?
Yeah, sorry. Can I mention that play there before I forget? That play was the dumbest play I've seen May River do. I hate saying that, but it's true. So they had a rundown at home, and the catcher just held on to the ball until the last second. And so the runner at third was safe, and then there was nobody covering second. So the runner that went from second to third was heading back to second.
What do you want to bet Mullis lost his mind about that? Let's see what Mullis thought about that play. What do you think about that play where you threw it home and then nobody was covering second?
They don't know the rules.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The umpires did not know what to call there.
Wait, so what had happened then? Explain this.
Both guys went back to third base.
Right.
And you're talking about Beckham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, both guys went back to third base. We tagged both guys. Then the other dude runs back to second base. The second guy is out. You can't have two players occupying the bag.
Right. Yeah. Whoever's already occupying the bag occupies it, and the other guy can't get on it.
Next guy's out. Regardless of what happens, he's out.
So May River didn't make a dumb play, Max. Take it back.
No.
The umpire made a dumb.
It's not really. I wouldn't say it's May River that made the dumb play. Although I think they could have gotten that runner between third and home. I definitely think.
I mean, you want to get him, but you would.
Well, they did
hope
though.
The umpires understand the rules.
Well, yes, technically they did, but the other thing was, like you said, one of them should have been out. And for some reason, the umpires just, I have no idea what the umpires
are. Talking about a force play or something. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, man, I don't know.
I told you he'd bang up the umpire. I told you we'd get him to bang up the umpires.
I got nothing.
Whether you would or not. But.
I already sent the text to you know what I'm saying. You know what I said.
Yep. I know who. So we did already hear Max's interview with Coach Schmidt post game. But your thoughts on there you go. Hilton Head Prep boys tied Coastal Homeschool 1-1.
Do what now?
Got an addition. I was just adding the comment. Somebody had a score for me.
All right.
I'm adding it.
Yeah, I mean, Mullis, what was your thoughts on that game as a whole?
You were there. It was a weird game, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, it was a very weird game.
It just both teams had traffic all night. I mean, we just couldn't get a hit when we needed it. I mean, that's the take home. I mean, we got hits when we needed them last night. We didn't get them tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, May River had multiple opportunities, I think, with bases loaded.
Yeah, we had traffic. We left bases loaded, 3 times tonight? I tell you, we hit some balls hard. They're good too. I mean,
that's a team that took care of business against Hilton Head yesterday.
Yep.
Stepped them in early, and then coming back here, second road game in 2 days. That's impressive to do that and to pull off 2 straight.
Well, they got some depth pitching too. They didn't
have to use as much yesterday, so that helps. They got some guys they can turn to get the job done. But give credit to May River for how they responded and built off what they did yesterday and put together another solid performance. And you got to feel good about your team as you get into the playoffs for what you've been accomplishing here at home. So even though it's a loss, I still think you got to take it with a positive mindset as you move forward.
I think we're past moral victories at this point.
Hey, I mean, it's not the playoffs yet. I mean,
it's time to go.
Results matter then. I would say that.
Yeah, it's time to go, and it's time to go, and I think they will go in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, the way I saw them fight tonight against Lucy Beckham, I have a feeling.
Interesting. I mean, we fell into the North Myrtle Beach draw, and we're they're James Island too. You know, I mean, they're are, you know, just like Beckham. I mean, you're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to punch above your weight in this thing, and these guys know that. And,
Yep.
I mean, they're you know, it's but don't want to look past Irmo. Irmo will be good Monday, you know, or whenever we play. I think we play Monday. These play. I love the way South Carolina does their playoffs. I think they do it about as good as, you know.
Yeah.
It gives you a little college baseball feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot.
I do as well. While we're talking baseball, shout out to Hilton Head Middle School. They won the middle school championship today. They went undefeated this season. So got some ballers down on the island. Just got a picture of my boys, the Fontana boys, holding the trophy. So a little jealous, but I'll get to play. We'll get to team up with them this weekend, so that'll be good. But we were talking before you jumped in, Mullis, and we had to talk about that play. We were letting Dr. Perruzza talk about the SEC championships down at Sea Island, where he was today. Jonathan Grez sitting at 2 over right now, tied for 40th. But you were talking about some of these guys like Jackson Coyven, who is massive
Jackson
star.
Coyven, quite the star. I mean, he's number 7 amateur in the world, and he's only a freshman, which is pretty absolutely unbelievable to think about. The other big name on there is Gordon Sargent. Gordon Sargent, actually, pretty big deal from Vanderbilt. He was the low am at the 2023 U.S. Open last year when Clark won, and he also won the NCAA title as a freshman. This kid's already signed by Nike. Last year, it was him and Oberg battling out from 1 to 2 all season. This year, it's him and Cristo Lamprette, golfer from Georgia Tech. They're like the top 2 amateurs in the world. He's already said he's going to come back for his senior year next year. But somehow, some way, I've read that even when he finishes next year, regardless if he finishes number 1 in the U points, he has done enough. He's earned enough points as an amateur to qualify for his tour card right away. So you're going to see this kid on the tour. And that whole Vanderbilt team, they have several guys. I forget the names, so there's 2 of them that are in the top 10 for the U ranking. So it's pretty crazy. I guess my dog's having a heart attack right now, but yeah.
Matthew Riddell.
Pretty good scores on that Seaside course.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the one they played
right there. William Mall and Jackson Van Paris. I believe those are the 2 that are up there. Or actually, Cole Sherwood, he's up there as well. So that whole team is absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
They play don't they play the Davis Loves deal down there? They play the Seaside, don't they?
Yeah, that's the RSM event, the one that Oberg won last year, same course.
Yeah.
And they also do, I think, what's called the Jones Cup down there in January. That's another big collegiate event. So they do a lot of golf at Sea Island, a lot of collegiate golf. It's a great course. I mean, both those courses, the Plantation and the Seaside, they're beautiful. That clubhouse, I went in there today. That thing is, honestly, I think the clubhouse at Sea Island's nicer than Harbortown. I mean, that thing is
it's phenomenal. I got to go down there. I worked at the Paquet when they first started that McGladrey. It was RSM, but it was McGladrey then. And we got invited to come down for their like media day thing, and I got to play it and be there for like the big opening announcement or whatever. Great golf course. Really pretty place.
I think that was like a $40 million redo. You know, they did a complete renovation of the golf course, built a new clubhouse. I think. Well, you know, you got all them tour boys down there. They want to have nice stuff.
Yeah. And actually, cool thing watching. So Georgia was playing it in it, and every single time when Georgia would finish, a guy'd come off. Harris English was there, one of the residents of Sea Island, guy that's on the PGA Tour. He was out there shaking the hands of every single Georgia guy who came off. So obviously, he was a Bulldog himself, so it's kind of cool to see guy who's won a bunch of tournaments, guy's been on the Ryder Cup, sticking around and supporting the next
Kuchar, Harmon.
Kuchar used to. He don't live there anymore. But
he doesn't?
Dudes down there.
He moved to Ponte Vedra, I'm pretty sure now. But it's Keith Mitchell out there. Brian
Zach Johnson's still down there.
Zach Johnson's still out there. Patton Kazire's still out there. Davis Thompson lives there. There's a bunch. Hudson Swafford on Live.
Huddy. I played with Huddy at the Players' Am one year. That guy's a wild man. He's a wild man.
Yeah, the talent. Well, what's cool down there too is they have that performance center there. It's like a state-of-the-art facility there, and I mean, it explains why they all live there. They do everything. Swing coaches. I mean, pretty cool spot to live if you're on the tour, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Rotel is from down there too.
I like playing. I always like playing ball down there. It's fun to play ball down there. But yeah, some other stuff going on tonight, fellas, around the area. Let me find the right tab. Girls soccer, Hilton Head Prep 6-1 over Coastal Homeschool. Lucy Beckham beat Hilton Head 6-0. Man, they're good. JP2 girls beat Palmetto Christian 5-0. HHCA boys beat Hilton Head 2-1. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, HHCA boys have been coming on lately, and they might be a factor
for them.
in the playoffs.
Yep.
Bluffton 2-0 over JP2, so Fox went easy on his boys. And Hampton County boys beat Silver Bluff 2-1. Baseball Diamond, Patrick Henry 13-0 over Holy Trinity. I believe our guy Stricklander is going to come on tomorrow and tell us about the brackets.
Oh yeah,
nice.
The brackets are supposed to be out tomorrow, allegedly. Sims Brunson got the win, 4-inning complete game, 13 hits. Nathan Corley with the triple for the Patriots. Pat's on top. Speaking of Hampton County, I had some barbecue tonight. Y'all ever had Bennett's Barbecue and Smokehouse? Mullis?
Bennett's where?
They're out of Hampton.
But
they come down here pretty regularly, apparently. One of my softball moms texted and said, "Hey, you want a barbecue plate from the barbecue truck?" And I said,
"Oh, the truck? No.
There's a bear, you know what, in the woods. That's my favorite food." And
if you're coming back from Hampton, you might end up in the woods.
It was real. No, the Hampton, they come from Hampton and bring the truck down here. But I think they're the ones that set up at the Thomas Hayward football games. And if I'm correct, I'm stopping by the next time.
What other one up there? Is it Lester's? Luther's?
Lester's. Lester's is right outside, right next door to Patrick Henry.
Lester's is so good.
We're going to have to start a rivalry for the official barbecue joint, Hampton County barbecue joint.
I'm telling you, if you're ever up there at Hampton County, the fish place is the ticket.
I ain't been there yet, but I've been to Rigdon's a time or two.
That low country seafood is hard to beat.
Yeah.
God, I could go through some Lester's right now. Good Lord.
There you go. Bennett's is good too. But anyway, more sidetracked. Lucy Beckham 5-3, obviously over May River. Carlton Prep beat Thomas Hayward 5-4. Softball, JP2 over Northwood 11-2. Clarendon Hall must have a juggernaut. They beat Carlton Prep 14-0. And then Hanahan rallying past Buford 6-3. So, and also the one we got added, Hilton Head Prep boys 1-1 with Coastal Homeschool. A sister kissing. Yeah. That's what we right, Mullis?
Don't get me started on Coastal Homeschool. I'm not sure.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant a tie. It's like kissing your sister.
Yeah, I'm not sure how those rules work at Coastal Homeschool. That's advanced travel talk.
I don't know how all that works either.
I'm gonna leave a name out of this, but I'll kid y'all not. We were coaching at Hilton Head Prep. If I'm lying, I'm dying. This happened.
You're live on the internet, by the way.
A kid quit that week. I'm gonna leave the names out. We go to play him the next week, and he's playing for Coastal Homeschool. And we're like, "What? How in the hell? How he's not homeschooled? He's enrolled here."
Yeah, there was a kid years ago when I was playing. There was a kid, I forget what school he was playing for, but he quit the school and joined Coastal Homeschool's baseball team, and he was like a D1 commit. And so he was pitching the night that our team played them.
And I couldn't understand for the life of me.
I don't remember him the last time.
You run across one of those every now and then, Tim Tebow type, you know?
But I mean, don't you need to be homeschooled? This kid was going to.
No, I was referring to Max's situation, not yours. I don't see how that can be possible. There are situations like that, but I don't think there's a situation where if your school offers the sport, you can go play for the homeschool. I think it goes the other way. But anyway.
Well, unless the coaches just suck, one or the other.
My son just texted me and said, y'all must have been short on help tonight.
On what?
Y'all must have been short on guests tonight. That was what Wilson just sent me from Louisville.
Well, I mean, you
The
did
Tigers and the Cardinals.
To your credit, you asked in because you're a stand-up guy, and you came on last night when you won. So you got to come on tonight, and
there you go.
I said you asked your way in here because you wanted to come in and talk about it after you lost, just like you did after you won, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
if you go lose, you might as well come. Hey, you better do it both ways.
Right.
Amen,
yeah.
brother.
I mean, it could be a good sport about it.
Don't just ride high. You got to ride low.
He did do a great job of
sometimes-
driving the tractor after the game. Great precision, great on the gas. Very good.
You need that humbleness
That's
sometimes.
his therapy after a loss.
Sweet.
You need some humbleness sometimes heading into the playoffs, and maybe this will do it for him. But I'm excited for what I've seen from May River just these last few times out in the field. And that win over James Island was huge. Even though they lost,
the psychic advantage you get from that is.
Did anybody get the? Did anybody get who's Hilton Head go get? I wonder
for playoffs.
Lawrence, I have to check and see
And then
when those come out. They're the 4 seed out of 7-4, so I think they play somebody from Region 6.
Might be someone from Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, like West Florence, something like that.
I'm finna get up the bracket too.
Yeah.
Are the brackets put together yet?
Well,
I mean, you just got to figure out who finished where and plug them in.
Yeah, you got to kind of fish around a little bit.
Yeah. So 7, number 1. So James Island will get an at-large. Here we go. Let me get this.
I would think Bluffton has a good shot at getting one of these at-large.
Yeah, I would think Bluffton would have a good shot. I mean,
I would think so too.
Will. Yeah.
They'll probably get the one that goes to the number 14 seed here that goes to the region.
Well, it doesn't. Now,
1.
the at-larges, you don't have to be upper or lower state because remember, Greer came in here last year.
Right, but they've got 4 at-larges and they've got 2 of them placed. Oh, they're all placed in the lower state bracket. That's right.
Yes, but they can be from the upper state or the lower state.
Correct, but what I'm saying is they're probably not going to put them in the slot where they would play James Island first. They're going to put a different at-large in that slot.
Yep.
Right, yeah, Greer came down and whooped
everybody.
Whooped up on everybody. Took everybody out.
I think they beat South Florida. They made it through.
Did they make it all the way?
How far they get?
I think they lost in that next round.
Yeah,
like
I don't think
super regional round.
The super
regionals. The last series determined the lower state championship series. You could say.
Yeah. Yeah, super regionals. Yep. We all understand what that means.
Yeah,
well, that's what it is.
Right. More or less.
Yeah, I guess
that's more or less what it is.
Yeah.
We understand the reference.
Yeah.
I'm trying to they've messed up the bracket page so bad I can't find any old brackets anymore.
I can't figure it out.
I'm trying to find last year's brackets and I can't find it.
Yeah.
It's a mess. That website's a mess. But so James Island will be here in this 2 seed slot. This will be Hilton Head down here against the Region 6 number 2. Region 6 is the Florence region, right?
Oh, okay. So that's
Myrtle Beach.
Florence. Yeah, I think
that's the Myrtle Beach Florence region, right?
Yeah. That's a good region too.
Yeah, it is. And then Lucy Beckham will be here against the Region 6 number 4, and you'll be here against the Region 5 number 3.
But that might be Hartsville or somebody like that.
I think you're better off going against the Region 5 number 3. I think the 3 seed's better.
The only thing is, you're just putting off getting to North Myrtle.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
North Myrtle's got some. They got
still. You know how important winning that first one is.
Yeah, you just got to get in there, man. You just got to get in it. Nobody thought we beat South Florence that year that we beat them either. So.
Right. Yeah.
It's we'll see. These guys, I like the way they compete. That's a beautiful. That's the good thing about it. I got some texts from some other coaches last night about. I do like the fact that everybody's. We're trying to raise the whole. The high tide raises all boats.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And it's good to see. Everybody's trying to. We just have to fight for. Which one was respect, whatever you want to call it, around the rest of the state. When you're down here, you're out of sight, out of mind.
That's
and
right.
it's a tough. But I mean,
Oh yeah, so you'll get Irmo. That's who you said, right?
yeah, should be Irmo.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a better. I think that's probably a better draw than
Yeah.
whatever you would get.
I think-
Whatever Beckham's going to get in the first
I think
round.
For a
Bluffton will
round.
be that. I
Yeah,
think
for a
Bluffton-
round. Exactly, just for a round.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Bluffton will end up being that 13 at-large seed.
I think they'll be in there. I think they'll be in
Yeah,
And
there.
then
they
that's
gotta
the one.
be. I think they're either.
You have to
the
put 'em-
13 and 14.
We're not going to put them against Reed and some.
They won't put them against James Island.
So it would be
They
have to be
won't.
somewhere else. So I don't know how they kind of determine the 13, 14, 15, 16 aside from that, if they kind of wait which teams are
Yeah, I don't either.
It's you just yeah.
Probably
As long as
geography
they
as
can,
much as anything.
right? Yeah, I think that has to be a factor in terms of
You
the
pick the
matchup.
4 teams and then you figure out where you're putting them, I think.
Yeah.
But
I think
South Florence will be the 4 out of there, by the way.
Yeah.
Hartsville's the 3. So Lucy
I
Beckham
just
gets
sent you an
South
article
Florence
to
first.
read later.
Okay.
Oh, guy, just got a text from home. That's good. That's a good article. I think you'll like it.
All right.
Well, that cover it, boys. I'm hungry.
Yeah, man.
Let's get some food.
Get out of here.
Yep,
We
that pretty
appreciate
much
you.
covers it, man.
Be
When
good,
we
Bubba.
get the brackets, and stuff, let's all get together and kind of go through a little bit.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we maybe
Yes,
do
we'll
a Sunday. Might do a Sunday show this week just to
Let me
preview
know.
all the. If we
Yeah.
don't do it Friday, that would be good. Yeah, do
That's
a
a good
Sunday
idea.
show potentially.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We have no Sand Shark. Do we
Right.
have a
Well,
Sand
we
Shark?
could.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. We probably.
I don't know. We'll figure it
probably
out.
will
We
have
got
to,
time.
Yeah.
We got time to figure it out.
All right, guys.
All right,
thank you.
Bubba. Be good. Holler at me.
Yeah, man.
Ned Mullis, everybody. What's up, Doc? You still here?
The man, the myth, the legend, huh?
Indeed.
Yep.
The GOAT. Shout out to our sponsors, our MVP sponsors. Start with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams, the Low Country. She'd love to help you find your place in the Lowco, or maybe trade your place in the Lowco in for a better one. If you want to get into the real estate market, it's a great time to buy and sell. And Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of the Lowco, would love to help you with the process. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. So when you find that perfect home, have Jan Lucas and his team look it over and make sure it is good to go. If you're building a new home, you definitely want to have that phased inspection so they can check on the build every step of the way and make sure it's being built right. Homegrown Home Inspections. Mickelson Law Firm is our official real estate closing attorney, our original sponsor, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Brian and Tiffany and the Mickelson team been helping us out since the start to bring you great local sports content. So we hope you'll call on them when you have legal needs. And Hospice Care, the Low Country. If you have charity dollars that you're looking to dole out, keep Hospice Care in mind because they provide all kinds of great services in our community. And it's a not-for-profit, the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. Hospice Care of the Low Country is the official hospice care of LowcoSports because in hospice care, it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors, fellas. What do you want to dig a little deeper into, Doc? What do you want to talk about? You said there's some MMA fights coming up?
Yeah, there is some MMA fights, actually. There's a lot of MMA fights coming up.
Nice.
There's Conflict MMA is doing a regional show in Columbia on Saturday, headlined by this girl, Alexa Connor. She used to fight in Invicta, which is the top female organization. I don't think she's ever made the UFC, but at one point she was a top, very top prospect. But some Savannah guys on that card. I know that some of the Icebox people are fighting on there. The Mitchell Pollard guy that I've covered in the past, he's going to be on the card. It's a good show. They always put on a good show. Not really sure if I'm going to make it out to that one, but great show for mixed martial arts. I know we're gaining some in Beaufort County, I believe May 25th. Abe Stem Foundry is putting on their Beaufort Brawl Memorial Day weekend, so that should be a lot of fun, exciting fireworks. That one usually is a full amateur show, which is pretty interesting because it shows you it's like, you look at athletes starting off, whether it's golfers or there's baseball players or basketball players, they all grind, but mixed martial artists, they're grinding, they're not getting paid, and they're getting punched in the face. I mean, like they're getting knocked out for free, basically, which is pretty crazy. But it's great what Abe does, allows these guys to have a chance to start their career. You know, it's interesting because you see some of them that want to pursue maybe potentially going to the UFC, going to the bigger MMA shows, doing fighting as a living. And then you also see other guys who might be in their 30s who just want to go and, see if they can do it. They want to find out themselves.
Right.
Fight Club. They watch Fight Club.
Yeah, so it's interesting. His last show, though, I mean, he had the night agent, Gabriel Basso, the actor, fighting in it. That was just absolutely crazy. He went 3 rounds with this Marine dude, and they beat each other for like 9 minutes. It was a kickboxing contest with only 3-minute rounds with headgear and stuff. But
Nice.
it was interesting, but no, it's cool. He does it in the gym, but it's a very spacious place. They like move all the equipment to the side, served up alcoholic beverages for the people who want to engage in that. And it's a fist fight. It's a really good show, but yeah, so we have that to look forward to. And I think, Conflict MMA is going to do shows all summer now. So within this area, Charleston, Beaufort, Savannah, you'll probably see 3 to 5 shows in the next 4 or 5 months. So that's pretty cool from just a local standpoint.
Right on, man. I'll have to keep us posted. And I know Max is kind of into the fight games.
Yeah, I got to
tag along with you for a couple of them. But no, I promised a little track and field talk because we definitely need to cover that. Because we had, most everybody. I don't think Whale Branch participated in it, which was unfortunate because they got some people who would have competed for championships. But Hilton Head High boys took the title over Beaufort in second and May River in third, Bailey Edge and Hampton County, and then a pretty good drop off. On the girls' side, Beaufort took it, Hilton Head second, Bluffton third, Hampton County fourth, and then a pretty big drop off. So
the Lowco championships.
Yeah, basically. Biggest standouts, Eric Smart on the boys' side for Beaufort won 3 events, the 110 hurdles, the 400 hurdles, and the pole vault, so 3 golds. On the girls' side, it was Isalta and Tia in the 800, the 1600, and the 400 hurdles, and then a couple double champs as well. Anaya Housel from Beaufort won the 100 hurdles and the high jump and was second in the long jump. Shanice Ramson from Hilton Head, fastest girl in Beaufort County, winning the 100 and the 200. Tyshana Leverett from Hampton County won the long jump and triple. And then on the boys' side, you had double champs. Hezekiah Abrams won the high jump and the triple for Hampton. And I think he was in golf for the win, golf win tonight. Soccer win. Good Lord. I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long day. And Amari Patterson, the fastest boy in Beaufort County. He's just a freshman. So here we go. Amari, courtesy of the Pat Man.
The Pat Man.
Yeah, I texted him this morning. I was like, hey, you got video of the fastest man in Beaufort County? He goes, fastest boy in Beaufort County or something. But Amari looks like a grown man, I'll tell you that. You know the Pat Man?
They've done a lot with him. Pat Man was telling me he's really trying to build out his brand. Like he's been doing a lot of stuff on social media.
Oh, he's all over the social, baby. He's doing it right. And here's the 200. If y'all track stars got video of your races or your PR marks,
speaking of the NFL draft tonight, this gentleman might be walking the stage here in 3 or 4 years.
Well, not in 3 or 4 years, and he'll be walking the stage at Beaufort High in 3 years.
Oh, that's a good point.
He'll still have at least like 3 more years.
6 or 7 years,
he's still got a minute. But I mean, the parts you can't teach are there. Yeah. They're there. It's just a matter of it's a matter of just staying on, staying on task, staying focused, maximizing it, because a lot of people have the body, have the natural gifts, but they're not able to. I was talking to I was talking to you about it on the way home tonight, Carlo, about Scotty Scheffler and about the focus and the precision it takes and the commitment, the dedication to being perfect every time. I mean, you just can't allow yourself to ever be less than perfect, that's how you get to that level of consistency. And we were talking about how, it seems like he really he keeps tunnel vision when he's on the course. Like he kind of blocks out the crowd. It's almost like he barely acknowledges them because he has to stay in that zone. I kind of think of that movie For Love of the Game. And I thought it was kind of hokey the way they presented it, but the way that that Costner would come set and say start the mechanism or whatever, and it would block everything out. It's kind of cheesy the way they presented it, but the sentiment is real.
All right.
So anyway, sorry, soapbox there for a minute, but what I was saying is that like you can have the physical tools, you can have the skills, but if you can't consistently give great effort every single time, and that starts in practice, because you play the way you practice, you got to rep it at high full speed in game type situations.
Well, I think more than anything in all sports, and quite frankly in life, it's all the mental game. I mean, skills can get you so far in anything, but you have to have that mentality. The fight game 100%. It's more mental than it is physical. And I think with golf, I mean, the reason why some of these guys lose is themselves.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
it's 80-90% mental at times, and that's why Scottie Scheffler has been elite and the best in the world for the way he's been able to overcome. Just he's been so consistent, but the very minimal times he makes mistakes, he finds a way to overcome them. And that's what we see for not just in golf, but for these athletes in general who have been the mainstays in our reports and our coverage over the years. You have to have that mental fortitude, and that's something that you can teach, but sometimes it just happens within you. You got to have built inside of you that consistent drive and just ability to overcome. And you talk about in baseball all the time as a coach. You got to have that short-term memory, and that's something.
Well, it's all sports. I mean, and you're right. Not everybody has it. But I think by the time you get to a certain level, the ones who don't have already been weeded out.
Right.
Like if they didn't have that intrinsic desire to just be a competitor, and that's okay. Not everybody does.
You can't teach that.
But like you can develop it, and you can nurse it along. But if it's not there, you can't make it up here.
Yep.
And some people just don't. They don't, and that's okay. They're not that person. They're not wired that way. But I think by the time you get to like high school, that's kind of weeded itself out.
Yeah, look at I think a perfect example, Zach Greinke, pitcher, probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, that guy almost quit after winning a Cy Young because he couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Greinke is a good comp, I think, maybe for Scheffler. Like, I don't know. Obviously, like Greinke has been really open about his stuff, but I do think Scheffler's got a little bit of I know that Ted Scott, his caddy, like when he came to him and wanted him to come carry for him, Ted sat him down and said, you got to control your emotions better on the course. I'm not going to deal with that. And so Scotty really zeroed in on that. And I think that's part of probably why he's so has blinders on when he's on the course. That's part of him staying in that space, that healthy space, and not letting himself out of that. And if you start looking around and some drunk guy's yelling at you and you catch eyes with him, it just gets bad feelings going inside that you don't want to deal with. So I think that's a little bit of it. But all that to say that, kids like Amari Patterson, who have that, you see a lot of kids who are told from a young age, you're great, you're going to play in the league, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And they start to believe the hype a little bit and start thinking that they're so much better than everybody. They don't have to work as hard as they did to get there. And that's where it falls apart. But, Amari has good people in his camp. His pops, Antoine, he knows what it's supposed to look like. He's got him on the right path. He's got a lot of resources that not everybody has. And he's going to be fine, I think.
No, I think it's
as long as he keeps his head on straight, I
think it's one thing to maybe be someone you're not, but I think it's another thing to be confident. And I think that Mari has the confidence, which
100%.
That somehow gets some people think confidence is ego.
There's a very fine line between confident and cocky.
Right.
There really is. It's a fine line. And it's easily misperceived. Like it all looks like cockiness unless you look a little closer sometimes. So, but no, I see with he's young, man. He's just a freshman.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of it. You look at him and you see grown man. And so you expect like a level of emotional maturity that matches what he looks like. And then you're like, oh, he's 14. Like you got to give him, you got to give him some time to
a
grow
guy
up.
that right. And we have a couple of some of those guys in the Loco, but it
Look at
takes
Jalen Linder and Carnell Warren.
Right.
I think those are good examples where it was like, oh, is he gonna grow up a little bit? And then, oh yeah, he did. He just needed to get a little bit older.
Right.
Literally grow up. Because they were kind of, emotional at times early on, and they lose focus at times. But I think that emotional maturity comes with age a little bit. So I think Amari's ahead of the curve.
But I will tell you, sometimes there are guys who are really ahead of the curve. Amari is one. Sage Bradshaw is another on the golf course because he is just a warrior and has that maturity about him that you don't see very much as a young guy, as a young high school student, but he's looked the part. Even though Hilton Prep won the title, I'm always impressed by how Sage Bradshaw, just finds a way to, carries himself. Exactly what I was trying to say there. And becomes that player that can consistently thrive out there in a tense environment, but also just has that knowledge of when things are not going his way. He makes adjustments and try to changes the way he plays, and has that good head and shoulders. And all the kids have that. Sometimes when things get to you, it can go south quickly. And some players, you find a way to bounce back and recover and just have that good mindset. And that just seems like Bradshaw, he seems like he's always playing some good golf. Whenever he's not, it just doesn't seem to compound for him. He gets back to what he does well. So that's a guy who I've always really enjoyed watching and getting to know. And it'd be cool to see him develop and continue to really grow as a golfer. But as he said, a ton of examples. Sometimes, guys, they have the people in their corner that help, and just the kids have the extra, intrinsic talent within them that they're going to use that to really set themselves apart early.
Thanks, Coach Dave. All starts between the ears.
Yep.
Yep, no doubt. And that's why you take your kids out to play travel or club ball and all those things too. It's just reps, and drilling it into your head and getting more comfortable and confident in certain situations and being able to do without thinking, because you don't have time to think often. It's just got to be a response. But all right, well, let's shout out some more sponsors and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Varsity sponsors the LowcoSports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you want to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group, serving legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and jumping on board to help us continue to shine a light on the student athletes in those counties and teams, and rep the Lowco. Love Parker Law Group. Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. We're gonna have to get that going again, Doc, with all this fighting happening. Got to get the grind up and running again. If you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level, you got to go to Reverence Wrestling Club. And Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor. He is at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. That's Dr. Ambrose Cole. Those are our varsity sponsors. NFL drafts. Max, your Falcons mucking it up.
Man.
Double
QBs. Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, they took Penix.
They took Penix.
They've given up on what's his face already?
Cousins? No. Well,
is it going to be the air?
They already have Cousins, and my response was the Chiefs already had Alex Smith when they drafted Mahomes, and the Packers already had Brett Favre.
What about Desmond Ridder?
They gave up on Ridder.
He's gone.
You can talk.
No one could care. No one could care about
and Drew Bledsoe as well for New England.
True.
It's a smart move, and I'll tell you why. A, he learns from Kirk Cousins. B, we really don't know how long Kirk Cousins has before he may or may not retire. So, I mean, that's two things you could look at. Before they picked up Cousins, I honestly thought they were going to go with Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix, because I knew they were going to go after a quarterback if they didn't pick up someone from free agency. But what surprised me is they drafted Penix anyway, and I think it's a good move because when Cousins is injured for whatever reason, you now have a quarterback who's I think ready for the NFL anyway, and has weapons he can throw to if he has to step in. Like if you're coming off the bench for Cousins, you're stepping in onto a team that has Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and an above-average offensive line. So it's a smart move by the Falcons. I did think they were potentially going to go after Dallas Turner, defensive end from Alabama, but he ended up, I believe, going to the Vikings.
He did. The Vikings are having themselves a draft.
And they got J.J. McCarthy as well.
Yeah.
They got McCarthy. I didn't realize they got McCarthy. Yep. Wow, what a move.
I think they traded up there, right? They traded up to 10 and got McCarthy. And then they traded up again to 17 and got Turner. Or they at least got that pick from Jacksonville. I don't know what the trade was, but
How about Drake May going to the Patriots?
Sounds fitting. Sounds fitting. Yeah, that's something something we would do.
Sounds about right. I assumed that was what we were all thinking there. Who's the one guy? I saw someone. I think it was the Rams. Who did they pick up? I think it was Jarrett Curse, right? Jared Verse from Florida State. The Rams picked him up. Have y'all seen some of his film? The dude is a monster. You want someone to replace Aaron Donald on that defensive line?
Your guy.
Jared Verse. Like that is the one dude you want on your defensive line. That dude bull runs through offensive linemen.
Ooh, yeah.
So I mean, my team hasn't picked yet, so I'm not.
So I understand.
We gotta wait till last.
I understand Caleb Williams is a stud and everything.
Brock Bowers went to, I believe, the Ravens.
No, Brock Bowers went to the Raiders.
Raiders?
I thought the Raiders.
Oh,
so yeah, I got to deal with him.
I misread that one.
He's going to Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, my team doesn't. I don't know when my team doesn't pick for a while yet. We're still just sitting around waiting.
Yeah, you even have a pick before we do, 33rd overall because we.
That's true. Yeah. That's right.
Justin Max and I were talking about it earlier. Obviously, Caleb Williams, amazing quarterback, going number 1 to the Bears. But I don't know, man. I thought Justin Fields was a good quarterback, and I don't really know. Maybe they jumped the gun a little bit. Their problem was no wide receivers. They could have got the guy who went number 4. What's his name? Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors, like. They could have traded out of there. Like, if they kept Fields, they could have traded out of there and gotten more picks. Like, I'm with you. I wasn't sure Fields was the problem there. I'm not sure.
Is there that much of a difference between him and
I'm not sure Williams is enough different than Fields to make a difference. Like he's a very similar player. I'm not.
I honestly, I think Justin Fields was never the problem with Chicago. It's the fact he didn't have options around him. I mean, honestly, it was literally
Nagy was really good in Kansas City, working with the quarterbacks and running the offense, but he was not a good head coach at all.
They didn't have options. They had no options at wide receiver. I mean, they now have an option. I believe they picked up a wide receiver too in the first round. I believe 4th pick, if I'm not mistaken. No, not the 4th pick. Who did they? They
got Rome Odunze from Washington.
Very good. But that was a great pick for them. They need a wide receiver,
and he's very good.
You got Caleb Williams, and now you have a weapon to throw to. But the problem is, you still need more weapons. Like getting one weapon plus Caleb Williams is just not enough. Plus, your offensive line has been atrocious the last.
Dave Carrick's happy to have Justin Fields and.
See, I think they're happy that they dumped Kenny Pickett because I don't think he was going anywhere. I mean,
no, and now they got Fields and Russell Wilson.
They got Wilson. They only have Wilson. here's the thing: they only have Wilson for 1 year, and I just have a feeling he's not.
I
Gonna
think Fields is taking his job this year.
Oh yeah.
I think Wilson's washed.
You can
I
see
think
it.
he's
want to
washed.
do it anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fields
I'm
starts
surprised.
very
Well,
early in the season.
But I will say this: I think it's also possible that he bounces back because of a change of scenery. Because I think he was absolutely miserable in Denver,
Well, I mean, the
especially last
Broncos
year.
kinda did that
Like
to
Peyton
themselves.
trashed him before he even came in. Like Peyton hated him before.
And that
he
was a
even,
disaster. And
Yeah, it was.
Denver.
Were they trying to like withhold his money or something? They were trying to get him to defer X amount of dollars when he wasn't told that. And
They
Don't
didn't
worry,
really do
man.
him. They did him wrong
Hey,
over there.
don't worry, Sean Payton now has Zach Wilson. Yay!
Yeah. Well, no, now
fun.
he's got Bo Nix. So
Oh, that's true. He does have.
yeah.
that's helpful.
Well,
my Eagles don't pick till 22, so it should be interesting.
I think
Or did they
they're
already
on the
pick?
clock right
They
now.
just
How long
picked,
is
bro.
this-
They got.
Oh yeah, we got
Quinion
Toledo.
Mitchell out of Toledo.
This draft
cornerback.
goes past midnight. these
Toledo,
days.
let's
Yeah, we got
go.
one of Max's
Toledo.
boys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
The Chiefs
Let's go
might not get to
Rockets.
pick today.
Yeah.
First round pick, man. Let's go,
It'll
dude.
be
That
tomorrow
that
morning.
Rockets team was fire.
But
this year.
anyway, no Lowco guys going in the draft this year, I don't think. But
no.
but
Not
maybe
this
in a
year.
year or two.
Yeah, we'll wait
Keep
for
an eye
Jameis.
on Xavier Chaplin in
Yep.
2 or 3 years. He could be a potential
Speaking of
one.
which, I don't think I talked to you about, but Carlo, your reaction of Puna to the Chargers.
Oh, I didn't even know that
Is that-
happened. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Puna's a
Puna-
Charger.
Did he get
Yeah.
traded or he
Yeah,
signed?
didn't he? He
He
signed.
signed.
a
He was on a
agency.
1-year deal in Buffalo.
Yep.
So
Well, he goes from cold and misery to nice beaches and
Yeah.
nice weather out there.
Great
I think
weather,
it's a pretty
too,
good,
yeah.
pretty good deal for Puna Ford out there. I mean, he's playing with some ballers. I mean, Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
He's going to have a
Yeah,
good
that's a talent
fun.
that-
did they
on the
fire
LA
their
team.
coach?
Who?
They got
Yeah,
they got Harbaugh.
Michigan.
They got Harbaugh. They got
Harbaugh.
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 I was
I
like,
like
surely
that. I
they
like
fired that
Harbaugh.
guy, right? That guy's terrible.
Oh, that guy sucked. He was terrible.
Oh, he's so
I
bad.
hated.
Yeah.
I
But they
hated
have
watching
talent
Chargers.
on that team. I mean, they have some.
Oh,
great
yeah, I know.
players.
They should have been. They should have been a playoff team this year, but because of their coaching staff, they couldn't do anything.
That's been the
Staley
story
did
for a
some
number of
puzzling
years
things.
with the Chargers.
And we can't all be
They
like the
just
Chiefs,
didn't-
Justin.
I know. Hey, it hasn't always been like this, boys. We had some very miserable years too.
What are your thoughts?
No,
Does he get close to Brady?
Who, Mahomes?
Yeah.
Mahomes.
I think he can
I
do
mean,
it.
there's a lot
I
of
don't know about
factors.
7, but I
There's a
think he
lot
can
of
get 5 or 6.
factors.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't.
I mean, I think it's
just-
conceivable.
It's just the competition is.
I mean,
is just really heightened. And
Who can beat them next year? It's the same team, isn't it?
I think it's conceivable. I mean, I think you have the right sort of recipe there, the
question is,
same
who's-
kind of recipe that you had with
who's gonna-
Belichick, where Belichick and Brady, where he got to really,
Yeah.
groom the quarterback in his system and teach him his brain.
And that first year
And-
where he had he sat
Can't
under
wait to
Alex
see
Smith,
what
that
you'll
had to
do.
be really
Yeah.
helpful.
See, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of the Philadelphia
Yeah.
Eagles, so if Philly's not going to do it, I want Andy Reid to do it.
Amen. A
Yeah,
lot of
can't
Eagles
wait to
fans
see
are
the-
very anti Andy Reid.
I'm sure they are.
I don't
Like,
get
they
it.
moved
I
on
mean-
from him.
I mean, I think
don't
his
get it
legacy
either.
is now with
He was
his
so
legacy
great
is
in
now with
Philly.
Kansas City over
sure.
Philadelphia, where he thought that was going to be the Eagles.
He led us
And
to
I
a
think
Super
he would
Bowl.
appreciate that because I think barbecue's better than Philly cheesesteaks.
You think so? I don't know, man. I
Kansas
don't
City
know.
barbecue.
There's
Kansas
a
City
there's a
barbecue.
topic.
Mhm.
There's a topic to talk
All
about.
right.
Call myself
Oh.
But you can't
Good
answer
conversation.
unless you've had burn-ins from Joe's in Kansas City.
Does that mean
AKA
that you want to
formerly
sit on
known
a
as Oklahoma
podcast with
Joe's.
Brett Ends from
Yeah.
Kansas City?
You gotta get some burn-ins from Kansas City before you can truly
Oh.
say. But burn-ins, man, from
God,
Joe's.
I'm hungry, guys. I'm getting hungry right now.
I
Please
might
stop.
go eat the rest of them ribs and pulled pork after this. Those were good.
Nice.
But hey, boys, I think we've done enough damage tonight. The Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros are with Charter One Realty. They are Lowco natives, Daniel and Debbie Court, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. We all wish you were here. Revive Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen helping new moms get feeling right. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets and all kinds of other stuff. Go over to their showroom on Argent Boulevard to see what they can do for you at Eagle Creations. If you need a haircut or just some great conversation, head over to Jay's Barbershop and hang out for a little while, sit in the chair, come out looking stylish in downtown Ridgeland. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, Chris Odom, will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. That's the Lowco Booster Club helping us keep this thing going night after night. We will be back again tomorrow night, but who we shouting out tonight, boys?
Ooh, I got a good one.
Who you got?
Ysolda Antilla from the Beaufort High Eagles, winner of the 800, 1600, also took in a hurdles title. So a terrific performance from someone that we have covered both in the cross country realm and as well on the track and field side of things. So excellent to see her continue to excel and rack up the hardware for a Beaufort team that has been a very storied program for a number of years, and great to see her keep it going for that squad over there from Beaufort High. So that's a great family. Her sister Charlize had a great career there as well, and dominant form once again at the end of the season, the peak time where you got to be running your best out there. So congrats on another outstanding performance, Ysolda Antilla.
I got two.
Very good.
So
you got?
One of mine is going to be Pat Man Jr. We're going to go to Mari. Obviously, I mean, man of speed right there. You have to kind of give it to him. Second one, I'm going to pick one of us, Mad Max. 3 days out in a row doing commentary.
Yeah. I got a shout out, boys. I got a shout out.
I'm typing in something absurd and crazy, but I'm just going to do it myself now today.
There you go. All right, Max. Who you shouting out?
Oh, that's tough. You know what? Despite the loss, I want to shout out May River's baseball team. 2 tough games in a row, and they beat James Island. You end up losing only by 2 to Lucy Beckham after what was pretty much one of the hardest fought games y'all had all season long the game before. So I have to shout out the Sharks. Yeah, they lost tonight, but, they're going into the playoffs, beating probably the number 1 team in the state of South Carolina and going toe-to-toe with the number 2 team in that region. So I would say May River Sharks are ready to go for the playoffs, and I'm excited to see how they go.
Good stuff. Good one. I don't know who scored the goals, but I want to throw some love to that Hilton Head Christian boys soccer team.
Yeah.
For knocking off Hilton Head tonight. That's a good little win for them.
Yeah.
And looking at their schedule, they are now 11-2-1. They've really quietly
those Eagles,
had a really solid year.
Yep.
And they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. So they are on a tear. They got prep left and then the playoffs. I don't know what Skiza 3A looks like this year, but it looks like HHCA could be pretty tough. So definitely looking forward to hopefully getting out to see them for a playoff game. Hopefully they get seated high enough to have one at home because they've been looking good, man. Ian Kelly's been one of their standouts. Chaz Brigstock, those are the big goal scorers. And then I know Haupt is in goal. What's his name? Joey Haupt. He's the freshman. So
freshman goalkeeper.
Yeah, and he's pretty solid. So shout out to those boys. And shout out to you boys. Shout out to Mullis as well for texting and saying, I'm on my way home. I said, are you coming on? He goes, yeah. I'm like, all right. Came to face the music. Eat the crow. I appreciate it. But boys, it was fun. Always is. We'll be back again tomorrow night. Thanks to Mullis for coming on to talk baseball. Thanks as well to all of our sponsors and to all of you who show up to listen or watch. You're the reason we keep doing it. We'll do it again tomorrow night, planning for 10 o'clock. I'll be remote from Mount Pleasant, the Shipyard Park this weekend, baby. But we got a 4 o'clock start tomorrow, so I should be settled in at the hotel. Actually, you know what? We're coming back tomorrow night. I should be back, but if not, worst case, you boys can run the show.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, I think I'm going to head over to the Shark Tank. That's been the place to be this week. The May River baseball team has been making some noise, making some waves. The soccer team in a nice battle against Bluffton and the Bluffton Derby. So it has been the venue of choice over these last few days this week. But the softball young ladies will take the stage tomorrow in what should be a really fun matchup against Lucy Beckham. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped for this one. And then we got Buford at Hanahan on the baseball side, which
No, I think they ended up playing that on Wednesday. I don't know why that's
Right.
in there. They already
That's
played that.
Yep.
That's why it was.
And
not
May
in the
River
schedule
Buford,
on Wednesday.
on boys soccer. If they're playing that one,
I don't think they are.
all right. Well, let's.
I didn't see any more games on Buford's schedule.
See, a lot of these situations are whether you play them a different day or, okay, let's just.
Well, these
bag
schedules
it.
were compiled in February, so
right.
a lot of
it's very
changed.
volatile. Very volatile.
But in fact, no USTV baseball tomorrow night either.
Right. Yeah.
Looking forward to the weekend, man. That's huge weekend series.
That's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, gosh, I wish I could be there. I would love to see that series.
Just get in the car.
It's not too far to drive.
Ain't that far.
No. I'll be definitely tuning in.
Yeah, the softball
on
looks good.
The Peach Belt Network and watch some of that USC baseball series, best of 3 for that last tournament spots, which they were able to give themselves a chance after that incredible walk-off victory that Max, you and I were on the call for when they scored 5 in the 9th. I still cannot believe that. That was a ton of fun. I didn't see that one coming. By the way, that game was going.
No, I don't think anyone saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Honestly, 5 runs in the 9th inning. I don't think anybody saw that coming. We all were like, "All right, boys, we're gonna have to sweep USC Aiken," and then out of nowhere they scored 5 runs to win the game 9-8. So I have no idea how they were able to manage that one. But now this is gonna be a fun, exciting weekend for USCB. They're gonna have to bust their butts throughout this series because playing at USC Aiken is not easy.
And that's an Aiken team that nearly knocked off North Georgia in that series, and they're a scrappy team. They will find a way to manufacture runs out of nowhere, it seems. And Booknight, that guy can hit. They've got a couple of other tremendous hitters at the plates, and it's going to be tough to slow down that offense. They're going to have to get some good quality outs from guys like Brandon Martin, Cam Demigian. We'll see how Faulkner plays it in terms of who he wants to go to in game 1. You try to really go all in for that first game to really give yourself that room for error in games 2 or 3. So a lot of different avenues and ways that he can, in terms of piece it together with his starters. So that's going to be fun to see what he does and what he has in mind.
Sure.
You know who I'll get to see this weekend? Is Shipyard.
Brett Gardner.
My buddy Brett Gardner. Yeah. I was just checking the field to see if they'd be there. They will be.
Former Yankee.
Yankee. He's my buddy. He's my baseball coaching buddy now. We always chat when we get together.
Remember that name.
Cool guy, man. Way different personality than he showed when he was playing. You want to talk about the place that athletes have to get to in the moment? Like that dude got to a supercharged place when he was between the lines, but he is a totally different person outside the lines. Like he's a laid back guy, super easy to talk to, really introverted. He doesn't really like, people. He doesn't like the attention and stuff. Like, you run into some big leaguers, former big leaguers who all they want to do is make sure they're a former big leaguer. And then you run into guys like Gardner, like, he doesn't have to tell you, who he is, but he doesn't even want you to look at him. He doesn't want somebody to ask him for an autograph or a picture because then people start lining up and that gives him anxiety. So, but he's a really cool guy. But looking forward to getting back out there with my boys this weekend playing ball. It's gonna be good times. No better place on earth than Shipyard Park. Gosh dang, it's like basically Field of Dreams by the river. Like it's so cool. So, but. All right, boys. Good show tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow night. It'll be a little touch and go, but we'll figure it out. We always do. That's what we do. For Wes Kerr, Dr. Carlo Perruzza, and Mad Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports